What is up, everybody? Crazyful here, coming at you with a video talking about the 1.6 patch and the predecessor stream that they had today. Some very unique things that came out of the stream, some very interesting things, and it's going to be a wild patch. Once again, they did not disappoint. They did say 1.6 was going to be a massive patch, and it is looking like it is going to be. It is a patch that's going to change the game completely. The way that the game gets played currently is going to change. Heroes are going to be strong and weak, just like 1.4. Essentially is just another 1.4 patch where every single hero is getting adjusted in some way with these new augments. So without further ado, let's jump into what they talked about in the videos today, and let's talk about the new hero, the changes to ranked, and these augments that are coming out. All right, everybody. First things first is the new hero, and you're gonna be able to see her in the background here. We'll keep their video on mute, and you guys, I'll have a link in the description of this video so you guys can go back and watch the VOD of this if you missed the VOD today. It gave out a lot of interesting information about the new hero and what's to come. But this new hero looks kind of insane. She is definitely an assassin. They talked about her dealing with isolated targets. They talked about her just absolutely being able to super mobile, pump out damage, and she just fulfills the assassin role extremely well. As you can see in this video that is, playing in the background here, she just seems like she's going to be another one of these characters that is super hard to deal with. And she might be able to snowball just as hard as Feng Mao, or as Kalari, or any of the other assassins that are currently in the game, like Countess. You can see she dashing towards targets, doing an insane amount of burst damage, able to get some of this, crazy amount of burst off. Just dash on dash on dash, diving towers. The character just seems pretty wild. Not really sure, obviously, how she plays currently because I haven't been able to play her myself, but I mean, just look at what she can do here. I mean, her ultimate right there just seemed crazy. And her ability just to be mobile and get onto backline, get onto whoever she wants to go for and kill. She has some sort of marking ability, as you can see. She just seems like she's going to be something that's really hard to deal with. If she gets too far ahead, you're going to have a problem with her just killing your entire team, it looks like. She has some AoE damage in here. Right there it was. That just looks insane. Doesn't seem like she has any problem targeting people that are really far away. I don't know. This character seems pretty crazy. But overall, the way that she's designed, her animations, her VFX, I mean, it all looks really cool. So I'm excited to see what this character is like. People have been asking for a new assassin for a long time because we haven't really gotten one from a meta yet. We've gotten tanks, we've gotten frontliners, we've gotten bruisers, mages, ADCs, supports, but we have not gotten any assassins. So it'll be interesting to see their take and their adaptation on what an assassin can be. Hoping that she's not too OP, because it almost looks like she might be a little bit too mobile and she just does some wild and crazy things. I don't know. But overall, her kit, her design, her everything just seems really cool. And if you missed it, again, there's going to be a link in the video description below where you can go back and you can watch this and you can hear them talk about what she can do and what she is as far as her kit design and everything. And the last thing I want to comment on is they did say this character, I believe, was developed about a year ago as far as like the generalized kit of what this character is. Again, that's a year ago that this basic gameplay for this kit was in the game. So if they had this character designed and playable in their internal environments for a year, obviously that's not the whole character wasn't playable for a year. Just the kit, probably on some sort of dummy model, was playable for a year. You can only imagine what they have cooked up for heroes to come. So if this hero is as fun as she looks like in this video, I can only imagine what the other heroes are they've been working on within this last year, and the other kits that are coming to predecessor here in the next few months, right? The next year is going to be a unique one as well, or in the next year as a whole. We're going to see some interesting kits, I think. So next part of this video, we're going to jump into the augments and what the augments look like in predecessor and how the developers talked about those as well. All right, so the next thing that we're going to see in this video in the background is their new augments, and the augments are going to be for every single character that's in the game. Once again, as you can see here, you're going to have a window come up when you're in the pick selection as you've selected your hero. And if you look here, it looks like for your specific character, there is 3 main augments, right? That's what they talk about in the video. You've got 3 main augments you can choose from. These are your primary augments. And for Rampage, we had a sneak peek at them. Tiny Titan, which is the video they released on Twitter yesterday, which shows that Rampage actually gets smaller instead of bigger. And we can see what that now looks like. So Behemoth now shrinks Rampage, removing his combat penalty and granting 0.8% total attack speed, but he receives 25% more damage. It's more of a utility augment. And so these augments are going to alter and change different aspects of your kit depending on which one that you've selected. Sometimes they might change your ultimate, sometimes they might change your passive, or one of your standard abilities. It just depends on the character and the augments that they have created currently for the game. So for Rampage here, besides Tiny Titan, you have Rumble, which means Rumble no longer has a cooldown, but it deals less damage, costs 10 more mana, and slows Rampage while active. So Rampage, as you guys know, one of his primary damage dealing abilities is just being able to rumble. It's on like a 3-4 second cooldown. He's just rumbling nonstop, just hitting people with that. Does a lot of good poke damage in lane. But now, if you grab the rumbling augment, he's going to have a 0-second cooldown on it. You can just spam that as much as you possibly want. I don't know how much less damage it does. It doesn't specify here, but it seems like it could be pretty decent when it comes to Rampage. Just depends on how fun Tiny Titan is. And then the last one there, Crushing Impact Boulder Throw deals is 0 to 70% more damage based on the distance thrown and can be ripped out mid-air. So you'll finally be able to jump, grab your Rampage Rock while you're jumping, and throw that sucker at the enemy if you grab that augment. And if they're pretty far away, it looks like it's going to do more damage. Seems like that might be the least impactful augment out of the 3. It seems like Tiny Titan or Rumbling seems to be pretty insane. Just a higher damage dealing rock kind of seems lackluster when you read Tiny Titan or the Rumbling. But all in all, this is a super, super cool concept. It's going to add a lot of depth to the game. What you have to think about now is not only do you have 43 heroes or 44 heroes into the game when they add the new hero in, 44 heroes in the game, but you're going to have 44 heroes, 3 main primary augments that could change their kit in some way, and you're going to have to remember those. You also have these common perks that you can look at. So we have Ferocity, which heals 3% of the damage dealt to heroes. Ultimatum, well, your ultimate ability deals 5% more damage. Divination, your heals and shields are 5% stronger. Regenerator, when damaged by heroes, regenerate 5 plus 1.5% missing health, or times 1.5% missing health over 5 seconds. And then basic attacks reduce your ability cooldowns by 0.2 seconds on hit. So yeah, the Techno Rat Rejuvenator, like some of these abilities just seem wild. The Regenerator on Frontline is going to be absolutely insane. Regenerator is wild. And you have to remember, all these augments are at level 1. They're starting at level 1. It's not that you level up, I don't believe, unless I missed that. I don't think it's that you level up. It's that level 1, you come into the game, and these are now your augments for the game. So if you take a early game perk crest, these are going to come online. So it seems to be pretty insane. There's also a second common perk that you're going to choose from, right? And those common perks are the Farmer, the Alchemist, the Roamer, the Steadfast, the Executioner. The Farmer is 8% more damage to minions and monsters. Alchemist is dealing ability damage to heroes, restores 2% of your max mana over 3 seconds, which is insane. Think about mages with that. Think about Wraith support with that. Think about Narbash with that when he throws Thunk. Seems wild. Roamer, out of combat, gain 5% more movement speed. Steadfast, when immobilized, gain 12% tenacity, 5% damage reduction for 2 seconds. Some of these tank builds that we're going to see now are going to be insane with some of these. And then the Executioner deals 6% increased damage to heroes that fall below 40% max health. ADCs are obviously going to take Executioner every single time. Mages might as well. You know, maybe they take Alchemist, but mages might take Executioner as well. Who knows? These perks, these augments just seem crazy. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how they're going to fit into the game yet. Obviously, the game's not going to be super balanced. But all in all, these augments are going to change the game drastically. You're going to have so much more depth to the game. You're going to have to deal with so much more and think about so much more when it comes to every single hero, not just your own hero, not just your favorites, but every single hero in the game is getting changed in a dramatic way with these augments. And you're going to have to remember these things. You're going to have to think about these things. And when the patch notes come out, you need to make sure to read them, because these changes are huge. Like they are massive. If you do not keep up with these changes, you are going to get caught off guard and you're going to get killed so often in your games, and you're not going to understand what's going on. So please, when the 1.6 patch notes drop, listen to videos, pull up your favorite streamer, read them yourself. These augments are going to be a massive impact to the game, and you're going to want to understand them, especially on your favorite heroes that you are laning against. You're going to need to understand them to really start understanding matchups. Some of these augments could change the way characters play in lane. They could change how a matchup is in your favor. And now if they grab a specific augment, maybe it's no longer in your favor, right? It's going to change the game dramatically, and you need to make sure that you keep caught up on these things, because it's huge. It's just as big as 1.4 when it comes to changing hero kits. This is a big deal. So make sure to stay caught up on them. Make sure you read those 1.6 patch notes to keep caught up on the augments when they come out. And again, a link to the dev stream so you can listen to the full 1.5 hours of the dev stream is going to be posted below in the description. Turn it on while you're cutting grass, turn it on while you're doing some work, turn it on when you're in the car. Listen to this, because they are awesome changes coming to Pred. All right, now we're going to talk about the final thing that they talked about in the dev stream that I want to discuss, and that is ranked improvements. So they are increasing party sizes from solo duo to 3 and 5 stacks all the way up to diamond. And I'm not a big fan of this. You can't 4 stack because they're too afraid that solo person would get bullied by the 4 stack, which is a very obvious thing, very toxic thing. Dota doesn't do that either. But I'm very nervous about allowing 3 stacks and 5 stacks into ranked mode personally. I don't think it's a great idea. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm hoping that it doesn't impact the ranked matchmaking as much as I think it will, but solos and duos will be able to play against 3 stacks and 5 stacks. And I know that there's voice comms in the game, but overall, I'm not a huge fan of this. So I'm hoping that it's not going to make as big of an impact, but we're really not going to be able to tell until we see it in action. I do think that it will allow, and it's no offense to anybody, but if you are stuck in silver and you aren't able to climb out, there's things that you should improve on, that you need to work on and try to work towards. And I think that those things need to be highlighted, and you should really focus on them instead of always blaming your team. I think people who are stuck in silver who decide to 5 stack will be able to climb out a lot easier. And I know a lot of you are saying that's a good thing, but it's not always a good thing. We don't want everybody making it to diamond. We don't want everybody making it to Paragon. That's not the point of a rank system. The point of a rank system is not to have 80% of your player base making it to the top 2 ranks, right? We don't want that to happen. We need to have diversity in our rank system. We need to be able to say, hey, these guys are silver, these guys are gold, these guys are plat, these guys are diamond, and these guys are Paragon, to show the difference in skill level between players, right? And it's okay to be at whatever rank you're at, right? If you're at silver or gold, or it's okay. It doesn't matter what rank you get to. All that matters is you're constantly working on the things that you need to improve your gameplay. But matchmaking isn't going to get better if a silver player makes it up to gold or plat, right? Because you're going to get lost in some of your games. And if there's a person who's stuck in gold, and because they 5 stack, they're able to get up to plat and diamonds, and they're getting into those higher level lobbies, and now they're no longer able to stack, there's going to be a problem, right? You're going to get lost. You're going to have a large amount of issues with your games. It's just not something that I'm super looking forward to, and I hope they take a real close dive, because people are already complaining that matchmaking isn't great. And if you are a solo queue person constantly queuing against 5 people, or if the game just becomes nothing but 5 stacks until you get to diamond and everybody's hitting diamond, not really seeing a beneficial point there. But it's all possible that this game everybody could stay at the normal ranks, and because 5 stacks and 3 stacks were added, nothing changes and everything's hunky-dory. So yeah, let's hope that's how it goes. They seem to be doing a lot of research and data on things, so hopefully this is one of those things that doesn't impact it too much. The next thing I want to talk about is they did talk about 24/7 ranked. The 24/7 ranked will be coming back, but again, it seems like it's going to be a limited time. In 1.6, we don't know how long, they didn't say, but it will be limited again, it sounds like. So that's unfortunate, but at least we're getting it back for at least a limited amount of time. Hopefully they eventually launch it 24/7 permanently, and it's not going to be a limited thing. The last thing we want to talk, or I want to talk about here, is they did tease something that's not coming in 1.6, coming in 1.7 or 1.8, and that is tier skipping. So if you're in matchmaking and you're winning a whole bunch of games in a row and you're constantly grinding that ranked mode and you're just on a win streak, you'll be able to skip tiers. And that means that if you're silver 2 and you're on a massive win streak all the way up to silver 2 and you're about to promote to silver 3 or silver 1, sorry, instead of going to silver 1, maybe you go to gold 3. Or if you're winning all your games and you got up to gold 3 and you're about to promote to gold 2, maybe you go to gold 1 or you go to plat 3, right? They haven't given us a ton of information on tier skipping, but that is usually what happens when it comes to tier skipping. You're on a big win streak, you're trying to rank up through the ranked progress, and you get to a certain rank, and the game goes, hey, you've been winning a ton. We're going to try and get you closer to your internal MMR faster, because that's how matchmaking balances. That's why you see silvers in your games. When you're diamond and when you're paragon or when you're plat, you see silvers. And if you're gold and you're getting into diamond level lobbies and stuff, that's because your internal MMR is extremely high. And so the system is going to now skip you ranks to try and get you closer to your internal MMR based on your current rank. So that'll be interesting to see. But again, that one isn't coming. They just teased it. And that one's not coming to 1.6. They just teased it and leaked it a little bit early. But it will be coming in 1.7 or 1.8. So that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the new hero, Urel, I think. And then the ranked improvements, and then lastly, the augments. Those augments are going to be so fun, yet so chaotic, and so imbalanced, yet awesome at the same time. So again, make sure you check out the patch notes. I'm going to link the dev stream below, mentioning it one more time. You can go check out the dev stream and listen to everything they had to say about the new hero, about ranked, and about this augment system that they are adding in for every single hero in the game.